Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Robertson Center for tonight's game featuring Bulldogs of Texas Lutheran University and your Southwestern University Pirates. At this time, please remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. And now, let's meet tonight's starters. First for Bulldogs, Texas Lutheran. Number 5, Kendall Holmes. Number 11, Eric Wilkins. Number 13, Joshua Bateman. Number 21, Robert Watson Jr. And number 50, Michael Burns. Bulldogs play for head coach Tommy Jones, 65
Good evening from the Robertson Center. Philip Dowden here bringing you Pirate basketball. Texas Lutheran is in town. Both teams lost the last couple of games. Pirates are on a 7-game skid entering tonight's contest as Texas Lutheran has lost their last 5 as well. Finish the national anthem, go over starters for you. For Texas Lutheran under 7th-year head coach Tommy Jones, the Bulldogs will start Kendall Holmes. He's a 5'10", 150-pound sophomore from Houston, Texas at the guard spot, along with Garrett Wilkins, a 6'2", 165-pound junior from the Austin area. He went to Pflugerville-Conley. Joseph Alderman, he's a 5'11" guard, listed at 188 pounds from Needville, Texas. He's a junior, and he'll also start at the guard spot. Continuing with the small lineup, number 21, Robert Watson Jr., a 6'3", 185-pound sophomore from Corpus Christi. And the man in the middle, Thomas Verm, a 6'8", 230-pound senior from Sealy, Texas. We'll round out the starting 5 for the Bulldogs. For your Pirates, Blake Scott gets back into the starting lineup this afternoon. He's a 6'4", 215-pound junior from Fort Worth, Texas, went to Arlington Heights High School. Chase Coer, a 6', 165-pound guard right here in Austin, went to St. Michael's Academy. Sean Myers starting at the forward spot. He's a 6'6", 210-pound senior from Bourne, Texas. The other 2 guards will be Michael Cantu and Eric Garza. Cantu, a 6', 180-pound senior from Corpus Christi by way of Cal Allen High School, and Eric Garza, a 6'2", 160-pound junior from San Antonio, Texas. Pirates control the tip here. Just a couple minutes after 4 o'clock, tipped off here in this SCAC conference battle. Blake Scott drives baseline, tried to feed Cantu, cut in the middle lane, and he lost it. Bulldogs in their neon bright uniforms up and in. That's Watson Jr., and Robert Watson scores the first points of the afternoon, and Texas Lutheran gets on the board first. Pirates wearing their road black uniforms after a home game last night. Texas Lutheran in a very neon Baylor-inspired type uniform. Shot fake by Cantu, just step inside three-point line, knocked it down. We're all tied at 2. Just a little over 40 seconds in here from the Robertson Center in Georgetown, Texas. Pirate basketball on College TV Ticket. Again, these two teams, they've already played once. The game was actually a non-conference tilt. It was down in Seguin. Pirates were able to hang on, win 73-71 was the final as Blake Scott corrals another turnover. Steal, and the Pirates head the other way. Then Cantu loses it, and he sliding on the out-of-bounds line. That's Garrett Wilkins. And Wilkins, he had tried to save it, but he slid out of bounds, and his foot was hanging over the end line over there. Again, these two teams met back, that seems like forever ago, back on November 20th. Again, the Pirates took a 73-71 win. That was technically not technically, it was listed as a non-conference game, so it didn't count in the SCAC standings. Pirates, they stand at 0-2 despite that. So back-to-back games here is Blake Scott, little floater off the backboard, no good. Rebound pulled down by Holmes. Getting a little look here at two of the two new SCAC schools here that joined the conference this year. This is Texas Lutheran. We saw Schreiner last night as they took a 73-59 win over the Pirates, leading from start to finish. 8 seconds on the shot clock for the Bulldogs. Over on the far side, push off is going to be an offensive foul. I believe that's Wilkins, it is. So Wilkins draws his first personal foul. That's the first foul of the ball game here as Josh Tates, checks into the ball game for Sean Myers here. 2 minutes into the first half of play. We're all tied up at 2 apiece. Southwestern and Texas Lutheran. Scott over on the far side, now to Garza, now to Cantu. 15-footer, shot fake, drives baseline. Tried to hit Scott, who was cutting in, and nobody touched it. So it'll be a turnover for the Pirates. That's their second here, just over 2 minutes in to play. Again, we'll try to do the best we can with these neon uniforms. They're neon with black outlined on the uniforms. That's Holmes over there, now hands off to Watkins. Watkins drives in, dish underneath to Verm, no good. Cantu chases down the ball in the corner, and the Pirates with another defensive stop. We saw it last night. Pirates continue to get defensive stops. Nice pass underneath. Blake Scott, power move up and in. Lost the handle on it just a little bit, but was able to regain control, put it up and in off the glass. Pirates take their first lead here, 4-2. Again, Southwestern trying to snap that 7-game losing streak after they did a good job of starting the season. Little baseline drive is picked away, and then kind of a foul by Watson Jr. And Watson commits his first foul. He made the turnover, and it wasn't that he was trying to push him or anything. He just kind of got tangled up and in the way. It caused Cantu to tumble over and lose his balance. Called a foul. It was a good call by the officials. 17:02 left to play in the first half still. Pirates up by 2, 4-2 early on. Coer back in the starting lineup as well. Crossover dribble, drives down right side of the baseline, off the window and good. Nice move by Chase Coer to put a little crossover, drive down the right side of the lane. His first points of the night. Gives Southwestern a 6-2 lead. Wilkins over on the left side, trying to feed it inside to Verm, and lob pass was no there. Good backside help by Blake Scott, who's there to corral the errant pass. Tate's elbow, now over to Coer, and we're going to have a foul away from the ball. Watson's going to pick up his second foul. He thought he was way far away from the ball. I'm not sure how he got the foul called. Looking confused. Into the ball game for him is going to be Troy Griffith. So a new 35 for the Pirates. Here with 16.5 to play in the first half. Just underway from Georgetown, Texas. Cantu gets a screen from Tate, now to Garza. Garza steps inside the line and knocks it down. Another 2-point basket. This time from Eric Garza. We saw almost the exact same identical play from Michael Cantu. Both individuals knocked down their shots. Pirates lead 8-2 here. Played almost 5. Griffith now over to Wilkins. Wilkins now right wing. Jump shot no good. I believe that was Alderman. I know that was Wilkins on the shot again, no good. And Southwestern is going to lose it. It's going to go out of bounds into the TLU bench. And the third turnover here early on for Southwestern. Adrian Johnson, Jake Shafani check in for Southwestern, give Tates and Blake Scott a little breather. Joseph Richardson into the ball game for the first time for TLU. Here's baseline drive, has it blocked away by the Bulldogs. Shafani comes down with the loose ball, dribbles across half court, over to Garza in the right side of the floor. Dribbles up between the circles, now right side for Shafani. Three-pointer fires it away. Lefty no good, off the mark, and Jordan Cremidas checks into the ball game for the first time, pulls down his first rebound. Richardson to Verm, now they swing it over to Cremidas. Cremidas baseline, pulls up, 17-footer off the window and good. Seen Tim Duncan make a living off that shot, just a little 2 steps inside, 17-foot off the glass, and the little bank shot is open for business. 8-4, 4-point lead for Southwestern. Pirates are getting the ball to go in the basket tonight. Here's a three-pointer from Garza. It's off the mark. A little too strong, and Wilkins pulls down the rebound over on the far side. Underneath, going to have a foul called. They get Sean Myers, who checked back into the game. I lost track of him as the official put up 20, and I'm thinking Myers had went to the bench, but Myers is back into the ball game. And since Thomas Verne to the free throw line, makes the first one nothing but net, makes it 8-5. Chris Lee checks into the ball game for Eric Garza. Verm, a 62% free throw shooter, makes them both. He'll take a seat. Matt. Mark Kovacs into the ball game for Verm. Southwestern leads by a pair, 8-6. 14-15 left to play in the first half. Myers on the left elbow. Now to Shafani. Shafani over to Cantu. Cantu between the rings. Now to left elbow to Myers. Now to Adrian Johnson. Johnson lost it momentarily. Myers dives on the floor, tries to pick it up. Cremidas pulls it up, looks way ahead to Wilkins, and Wilkins up and in on the fast break. Ties the ball game at 8 with 13:51 left to play in the first half. Good transition basketball by the Bulldogs. Here's another turnover by Southwestern. Cremidas drove on the floor for it as Lee had lost it. Couldn't hang on to the pass. Richardson now to Wilkins on the left wing. He's going to drive baseline, little push off, and I believe they're going to get a block on Cantu. They do. So Michael Cantu picks up his first foul. Coert gives Cantu a little breather. Kovacs on the left elbow, now over to Richardson on the left wing. He's picked up by Adrian Johnson. Drives baseline, puts it off the window, and blocked by Sean Myers out of bounds. Texas Lutheran will maintain possession, but a nice block on the help side defense by Sean Myers. He's got 12 on the season, now 13. He leads the Pirates. Underneath, nice little pass. Adrian Johnson had got lost on the screens, and Joseph Richardson was able to put it up and in. Texas Lutheran regains the lead, 10-8. Coert over to Johnson. Johnson in the corner for three, and he splashed it home. Southwestern regains the lead, 11-10, back and forth here early on. 12:47 left to play in the first half. Pirates have done a nice job of getting the ball to go in the basket tonight. That was something. They got the stops on defense last night, as we mentioned. Weren't able to get it. Here's a fadeaway, no good by the Bulldogs, and they're going to get a foul on Mark Kovac, I believe. They do. That'll be his first 14th foul for the Bulldogs. Scott comes back into the ball game. Good minutes by Jake Shafani, who takes a seat. So a big three-pointer by Adrian Johnson gives Southwestern 11-10 lead. Now a stop on defense. Here's Sean Myers. Double team comes and going to have a tie-up or have a tie-up. Like one official was thinking about calling a travel possibly. And they give it to Texas Lutheran. They said they already had we haven't had a jump ball, as Southwestern had controlled the tip. So it goes back to Texas Lutheran. So turnover technically is what's credited to Myers after that. Wilkins over on the right wing, picked up by Coer. Free throw line, Griffith knocked it down. Big shot by Troy Griffith, gives the Bulldogs in the 12-11 lead now. 12 minutes to play in the first half. Myers with the ball. Coer will fire a three on the right wing, and he knocked it down. It's a big shot by Chase Coer. Hasn't shot many. Only his third three-pointer of the season. He's 3 of 8 so far. They're going to have an illegal screen on Kovacs. That's his second here in just about 2.5 minutes. Get him with an illegal screen as Coer was trying to run around it, and they said he stuck his body out there and nudged Chase just a little too much. Here's Blake Scott over on the left wing. Now Sean Myers, top of the key. Nice backdoor cut by Chris Lee, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Bulldogs thought they had gotten all ball. Joseph Richardson's whistled with his first foul. Sent Chris Lee to the free throw line. Saw him head there last night. Struggled just a little bit. Knocks the big one down here. Pirates lead 15-12. So Lee, who got a lot of playing time last night, taking advantage of that here this afternoon as well. Second free throw from Lee. Front of the rim, backboard, and falls in. 16-12, Southwestern with the lead. Little three-quarter scramble pressure here. Kovacs working on Myers. Little turn, spins. Scott came over to block it, but Myers had fouled him before he went up with it. That'll send Mark Kovac to the free throw line. He's a 69% free throw shooter, only 13 attempts. So not a large selection tonight to choose from. Zach Whitlock into the ball game. Saw some action last night. He gives Myers, who picked up his second foul, little breather. Kovac knocks down the second, 16-13. Johnson quickly into the front court. Now to Coer between the circles. Coer had a wide open three, chooses to drive in the middle lane. They're going to get a foul on the drive. I believe that'll go on Garrett Wilkins. His second. It'll send Pirates to the line 1-1 here the rest of the way. So with 11:03, Southwestern leads 16-13. They'll be shooting 1-1 here the remainder of the first half. Wilkins is going to take a seat. The junior, who more than likely probably playing in front of some family here. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch, Texas Lutheran. It'll stay with the Pirates. Down near the end of the Bulldog bench, it'll be Garza back into the ball game to administer the throw-in. Gets it to Coer. Johnson back to Coer between the circles. Now to Scott. Scott on the elbow. Coer gets a pick, running a little give and go. Goes out of bounds. That was Bryce King, who may have gotten a fingernail on it. Knocked it out of bounds. Garza to trigger again. 21 on the shot clock. Scott drives down middle lane. Looked like he went up for a dunk and then couldn't get up high enough and changed his mind and tried to lay it in. But he got bumped to go to the free throw line. It's already the third personal foul on Kovac. Scott's first free throw, left it short. 45% free throw shooter. Knocked down some big ones last night. Verm comes back into the ball game. Cantu comes back into the ballgame as well for Adrian Johnson. For Southwestern, it's Cantu, Coworth, Scott, Garza, and Zach Whitlock. Scott sends the other one around the rim and in. 17-13, 10:43 left to play in the first half. Southwestern with the lead. Richardson to King, now down low, back out to King. Now Richardson between the circles. Him and Chromitis will switch places. Chromitis take a screen, now back to King, now back over to Richardson on the left wing. Now finds Verm in the low block, give and go. Richardson up and under move. That was a nice move, couldn't get it to go. Goes out of bounds. A couple people had tipped it around underneath the basket. Last touch, Southwestern. Neither team could really grab a handle on it. Inbounds pass goes to Verm, now to Chromitis. Drives down right side of the lane. They're going to get, I believe, Coer with a little slap. I know they get Garza with the foul. So that's his first. 4th team foul for the Pirates. Because they got Garza after. Coer reached in there and looked like he had slapped the ball away cleanly. And apparently he had, but Garza on the other side had fouled Jordan Chromitis, who heading to the line, sinks the first one. 80% free throw shooter on the season. Knocks them both down. That's about the prettiest shot we've seen so far tonight. He averages 10 points a game for the Bulldogs. 17-15, Southwestern still leads. Pirates not having many attempts. This pass is going to be stolen. Garza tried to get it into Blake Scott. Verm was able to reach around and get it. Scott going to go down the other end, commit a foul, and that's almost a basketball sin. Make a mistake on the other end and go down and commit a foul. His first. Chromitis back to the free throw line. Again, nothing but net. Josh Tate's into the ball game for Scott, his first personal foul. Shafani into the ball game for Whitlock now. So a good couple minutes by Zach Whitlock, the first-year player from San Angelo Central. And nothing but net from Chromitis. It's tied up at 17 apiece. 9:55 left to play. Halfway point here in the ball game. Shafani looking for Tates, now to Tates on the left elbow. Backdoor cut, Shafani. He got too far underneath the basket and couldn't get it to go up and in. Hit the underside of the backboard, and Texas Lutheran quickly the other way. This is Bryce King. Pulls it back out for Richardson. Now Chromitis on the right wing. King back to Richardson between the circles. Pirates continue to play man-to-man. Chromitis for 3, and he knocked it down. Credit the assist to Troy Griffith on the little pass and screen game. Bulldogs take the lead again, 20-17 after the three-pointer. Cantu over to Coer. Coer almost traveled, got his man to go up in the air, goes in middle of the lane, and he gets the harm in the hoop. Coer will go to the line for 1, and a chance to tie the ball game back up with 9:06 to play. You get Chromitis his first. Even though they have number 4 on the scoreboard. Not a number 4 out there. Richardson quickly into the front court. Coer ties the ball game at 20. He's got 8, leads all scorers right now. 8:55 to play here in the first half. Both teams looking to snap a losing skid. Southwestern stands at 7 currently. Chromitis, fadeaway jumper, no good. Cantu pulls down the rebound. That was a tough shot. We saw it go in last night from the Kansas State transfer, A.J. Myers from Shriner. Chromitis not fortunate enough to get that one to go down. Coer, top of the key, now to Tates. Tates on the left elbow. Over to Shafani, gets a screen from Tates. Now, little give and go. Three-pointer left wing, no good. Garza couldn't get it to go down. Griffith pulls down the rebound for TLU. Richardson to King. King is going to attack the basket, and Tates is going to bump him on his drive and send Bryce King to the free throw line. A little slow getting up. Tates had tried to avoid him as they bumped into each other. It's Josh's first foul, 7th team foul. So both teams here in the last 8.5 minutes will be shooting free throws. Coach Tommy Jones, he's going to take a timeout here. We're all knotted up at 20, 8:21 left to play. Chase Coer on the old-fashioned three-point play. He leads all scorers with 8 points right now. Cormidas has 7. Bryce King will go to the free throw line after the timeout. He's played considerable minutes. He doesn't have any points yet. He's a freshman from Hawkinsville, Georgia. The only player on the TLU roster that is not from the state of Texas. Both teams also looking for their first SCAC win. Last night it was Trinity handing the Bulldogs a hard beat down, 64-37 down in San Antonio. King 2 for 2 on the season, makes his first one. He's made 3 free throws this season and gives TLU back a 1-point lead. He'll try to make it 2 on the second attempt. He does, 22-20, 8:21 left to play in the first half of our men's game. Bulldog women and the Pirates coming up next after this. Shafani called for an offensive foul. Verm had stepped over. He used the out-of-bounds line, just like you're taught, as another defender. And Shafani's whistled for the offensive foul, his first. He'll take a seat. Lee and Scott check back into the ball game as Josh Tates sits down as well. Richardson running the point again for TLU, picked up by Coer. Draws a count with 22 on the shot clock. Drives down right side, lost it momentarily. And King steps on the out-of-bounds line. He got too wide over there on the far side and lost track of where he was on the court. 5th turnover of the afternoon for TLU. Scott in the post, draws a double team, kicks it out to Cantu. Now to Lee at top of the key. Drives down, kicks it over to Coer on the left wing. Free throw line extended. He'll use a screen from Scott. Scott rolls, gets it now in the post. 18 on the shot clock. Turn, hook, good. Good spin back in the middle lane. Can be dangerous, but Blake Scott got it up and over. Verm on the little baby hook, tied the ball game back up at 22. Gonna have an illegal screen on Griffith. Griffith listed as his first. I believe it's his second. Pirates will be in the double bonus. Little jumper. Lee, no good. Tipped back out to Cantu. Now Lee, top of the key, over to Coer. Right wing, three-pointer, no good, off the mark. Rebound pulled down by King. Griffith, his pass over to Chromitis, hit him right in the face. He's able to track it down now. Plenty of time on the shot clock, went to attack the basket. And he draws a foul. Chris Lee whistled with his first. Midas with 7. He's 4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight. His 3rd attempt coming up here. That one not as pretty as the other, but it went down again. Stays perfect with 8. 23-22, 6:49 to play. Texas Lutheran with the lead. Adrian Johnson quickly runs the scores table to check in. Cormitis makes them both. 24-22, 2-point lead again for the Bulldogs. Get nip and tuck here all the way in the first half. Here's Daniel Matei into the ball game for the first time. Johnson wide open, fire a three-pointer, no good, off the mark. Verm pulls down the rebound for the Bulldogs. Richardson looking to push it, doesn't have numbers, but he drives the basket, attacks, and draws a foul. See who they get this on. They give it to Blake Scott. No, they give it to Lee now. That's his second. He was in the act of shooting, but both teams are in the double bonus now with 10 team fouls. Missed them both. Possibly a good foul for the Pirates. Get the ball back. Cantu on the right wing. Over to Lee. Lee drives baseline, little double fake to get caught in the air from about 10 feet out, knocked it down, ties the ball game back up at 24-24. Chromitis looking to feed Verm. Verm, little turnaround 10-footer is good over Blake Scott. Puts the Bulldogs back up by 2, 26-24. See if the Pirates can answer. Entry pass to Scott's tipped out of bounds by Verm. Stever in the ballgame for the first time. Josh Tates checks back in to give Scott a little breather here. Chris Lee takes a seat as well. Inbounds pass goes to Johnson, new 35. Stever, three-pointer, no good, off the mark. King pulls down the rebound. His second. Chromitis got caught in the air, handoff. Richardson, little 15-footer from the left elbow, no good. It was off the back of the rim. Cantu pulls down the rebound, pushes ahead to Matea. Matea now to Tates. Tates was open momentarily, draws the double team, gets the ball lost, goes down to a knee. And the Bulldogs fight it for a jump ball. It'll stay with Southwestern, however, here. 25 seconds on the shot clock, 5:14 left to play in the first half. Texas Lutheran holds a 2-point lead, 26-24. Johnson, three-pointer again, gets this one to go down over in the left corner. Southwestern regains the lead now after teams were stuck on even numbers, trading baskets. 27-26 is the Pirate lead. 5-minute mark left in the first half. Chromitis picked up by Stever, tries to drive, lost the handle just a little bit, over to King, now to Chromitis again. He'll fire a three over Stever, no good. Matea pulls down the rebound as he soars for it. Adrian Johnson pushes it for the Pirates. Matea, shot fake, kicks it over to Cantu, three-pointer right wing, splashed it home. Pirates lead by 4, 30-26, 4.5 to play in the first half. Big shot by Michael Cantu. Cantu overrun Richardson on the right wing. Plenty of time on the shot clock. King now finds Richardson. Richardson, top of the key, back over to King. King will fire, catch, and shoot a three. No good, off the mark. Chromitis and Johnson bump heads, fall down, both slow to get up. And the loose ball picked up by King, and Bryce King put it up and in. 28-30, Southwestern still with the lead. Chromitis and Adrian Johnson had nodded heads. And the officials stopped the game here. I'm not sure if they're to see if both players are all right or if they see blood. But if there's blood, the players will have to come out. Chromitis and Richardson both come out. Alderman, Dante McGee into the ballgame for the first time, gives Verm a little breather. I believe I saw Wilkins run in, and Shafani's going to come in for Matea here, so kind of mass substitutions for both teams at this dead ball opportunity. Coer to trigger for the Pirates. They lead by 2, 30-28. Cantu finds Tates in the low block. Double team comes, dump off to Cantu. Cantu back to Tates, to Coer. Three-pointer, no good, off the mark from Shafani. Rebound fought for on the floor and out of bounds. Alderman had fought for it, but whenever he sat down to pick up the ball, his rear was sitting on the out of bounds line, so it stays with Southwestern, and they get a new 35 to boot. Cantu, right elbow, now to Shafani. Shafani drives lane, now kicks it out, left wing, no good. Rebound pulled down. McGee quickly into the front court. Holmes, no good. Stever fighting for the rebound, and he pulls it away, and there's going to be a foul called. I believe this will go on Texas Lutheran. Ben Stever head to the other end of the floor to shoot double bonus. They get McGee with his first personal foul. As you're in the closing minutes of the first half, the intensity starts to pick up just a little bit. Stever knocks down his first one, a very good free throw shooter on the season. He's 11 of 12, only one miss. Tates is going to take a seat as Blake Scott comes back in for him. Richardson checks back into the ball game for Kendall Holmes. Second one, no good. Griffith pulls down the rebound for Texas Lutheran. 31-28, Southwestern with the lead. Richardson, quick, or that's not Richardson, that's King back into the ball game. He attacks the basket, puts it up, pulls the Bulldogs now within one. Shafani, right wing, lob pass into Scott, poked away by King. Good help side defense by the Bulldogs. And Richardson will run the point. Griffith step just inside the three-point line, can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Scott. Southwestern holds on to a one-point lead, 31-30, 2:43 left to play in the first half. Great first half. Here from Georgetown, Southwestern Pirate Basketball and collegetvticket.com. Assistant Sports Information Director Philip Dowden with you today. Calling the boys and girls games here from the Robertson Center on the campus of Southwestern. Bringing you Pirate basketball all season long. Check in on other SCAC scores if we can. Only one in action at the half is Trinity, leading Schreiner 33-27. That game is at the half. That's in San Antonio. Schreiner last night handed Southwestern a 73-59 win. So that's a battle of 2-0 SCAC schools down at Sam's Gymnasium in San Antonio. We've got a good one here this afternoon as well. Pirates lead it 31-30, 2:42 left to play. Coer on the point. Whitlock back into the ball game for Southwestern. Double team comes on Scott in the post again. Turns, fires it high off the backboard, no good. And McGee pulls down the rebound. Scott did a good job to fight that double team off and find that open look, just couldn't get it to go. Coach Bill Rowley for the Pirates is wanting a foul, saying Scott got hit on the arm. Little jumper from the right elbow, no good for Griffith. McGee's going to be whistled for a foul over the back on Blake Scott. Send Blake Scott